right, Gaurav Bhatia, national spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, political commentator, Amna Begum Ansari, columnist and activist, Mohammad Adil Hassan, spokesperson of the AIMIM, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, Congress leader, Vivek Srivastava, political analyst, Abdul Razak Khan, member of the Karnataka Waqf Board, also joining me tonight. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, my first question comes out to you and I want to ask you. Should the Congress be apologizing to all Muslim women today for the 1986 law that took away the rights of Shah Bano? And today, when the Supreme Court says that Muslim women, when divorced, have a right to maintenance and alimony from their husbands or rather ex-husbands. I want to ask you, this atrocity on Muslim women who were facing adversity was done only and only to somehow appease a vote bank, because according to Neerja Chaudhary, senior journalist, she's written in her book, How Prime Ministers Decide, very clearly that Rajiv Gandhi called Shah Bano to New Delhi and told her, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो कहा है मत उसको यूज करिए, आप केस जीत चुकी हैं, लेकिन आप मेंटेनेंस मत लीजिए क्योंकि हालात नाजुक हैं. Actually, with that kind of pressure on her, a woman was not allowed to take the victory and the maintenance that she was eligible for. Kamruzaman Chaudhary?
Now, Navika ji, first and foremost, today's judgment was based on a dispute between a Muslim couple, but the judgment was very much secular in nature, in line with the Constitution of India. Neither did Rajiv Gandhi do any wrong, nor the Congress government, by bringing in the famously known as the Shah Bano Act in 1986, because the same Supreme Court in the Daniel Latifi case of 2001 upheld the constitutional validity of the 1986 Act, but extended the right of a Muslim woman to get maintenance if till she remarries. That's same thing is written here. The Muslim woman has got a right since time immemorial in getting a right under the 1986 Act also, as well as the the CRPC 125. There is nothing dispute in it. Now coming to the moot question out here, what does the entire judgment try to justify in the context of the rights of a Muslim woman or a woman? When I say the judgment is secular, I mean to say it applies to all forms of women in the country, all faiths of women, be it a Hindu, be it a Christian, or be it a Muslim. There is no difference in the rights of a Muslim woman or a Hindu woman. Any woman who feels that she has been unjustified, she can approach a court of law, seek redressal under the Sharia law also for a Muslim woman, or under the CRPC 125, or under the 1986 Act. So what's the difference in there? Nothing new, nor a landmark judgment. This one it is. Only thing that is, it is politicking by the Bharatiya Janata Party that this judgment is in contravention to the 1986 Rajiv Gandhi judgment. I can cite you a number of cases wherein the Supreme Court has ruled that the 1986 Act is in fact, the legislative intent was very correct. There is nothing wrong, unlike the BJP wants to portray the 96 Act was. That was the need of the times.
Need of the time. Need of the time not to give justice to Shah Bano, a 65-year-old woman. It was the need of the time. And may I replay to you what Rajiv Gandhi said then? The protectors of the Constitution. Please listen to this. Please listen in to this soundbite of Rajiv Gandhi.
हमारी कोशिश होगी कि महिलाओं को इज्जत मिले, समता मिले और उन्हें आर्थिक आजादी मिले. साथ में हमें देखना है कि हम हमारा पुराना, हमारा प्राचीन तत्व ज्ञान न भूल जाएं. खाली आर्थिक दौड़ से विकास नहीं होना है. हमारे प्राचीन ज्ञान ने हमें सिखाया है कि पैसे से, धन से विकास नहीं होता है. पैसे और धन से लालची शक्तियां बढ़ती हैं.
गौरव भाटिया, राजीव गांधी, अगर मेंटेनेंस मिलता शाह बानो को, पैसे से लालची शक्तियां बढ़ती. A woman 65-year-old woman with 5 children was not given maintenance because there would be greedy people around her and she was going to get some 120 rupees as maintenance. Is this the justification, or was it only appeasement then for a vote bank? And that's why there is pin drop silence from the Congress party. Every day 10 tweets from Jairam Ramesh, Pawan Kheda. Today, not one on this issue. Why, Gaurav Bhatia?
Navika, there wouldn't be any tweets or remarks, but I would not be surprised that after a few days, if you start seeing Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party coming out in the open to criticize the judgment, to say that the Supreme Court has been influenced, and that is because they are heavily relying on appeasement politics. I was hearing the earlier speaker, and I would like to correct him as a student of law. The legislation that was brought in 1986 diluted the rights of the Muslim women, and the intent itself of bringing that law was anti-constitutional and anti-Muslim women rights. Let me make it very clear to you, whether it is the judgment of the Shah Bano or Daniel Latifi or Shaira Bano, it enhances the scope of the rights of the Muslim women. And Navika, let us understand in a layman's language. It clearly reveals, even today's judgment, clearly states that yes, a Muslim woman would also have the right, just like any other citizen, to move the court for maintenance under 125 CRPC. The radical elements in the Islamic religion, as well as the parties that indulge in appeasement politics, are hell-bent in taking away the rights of Muslim women by saying that once meher has been paid, maintenance cannot be sought. And that is why this law was also brought, but the definition of the act was not accepted by the Honorable Supreme Court. Today, there is a larger question, and the question is very political. Navika, people who hold the constitution during the elections, why are they silent today? Why are they not talking about the rights of the Muslim women which have been granted by this judgment, reiterated? And I must also add to this, it is Narendra Modi ji's will that has ensured that triple talaq has been criminalized by a legislative act. Second, Uniform Civil Code, which is part of the constitution that Rahul Gandhi was holding during elections, has been implemented in BJP ruled states, some of them. I'm asking, why do they oppose the UCC also? Because these clerics and the radical elements in the Islamic religion have a phobia that Muslim women would be empowered and these people will not be able to control them. And this kind of thinking also resonates with Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party that are silent and not welcoming the judgment today.
Well, let